A few news stories for you. Firstly, viewers, Italian defense minister has confirmed that Italy-Ethiopia defense agreement is suspended. The agreement was signed in 2019. Why is the agreement suspended now? Why did Italy suspend this agreement with Ethiopia? Secondly, viewers, Hermela Aregawi of No More movement now seems to be after some Oromo politicians. A few hours ago, she tweeted about alleged corruption of some Oromo politicians. What is her new agenda? And lastly, Geachew Reda has responded to a statement of Berhano Jula. I read a video on that a few hours ago. Berhano Jula yesterday said Ethiopian National Defense Force will defend Western Corridor till the last drop of blood. Getachew has responded to this statement of Berhano Jula. He says, who is calling the shots? Who is in charge? Abiy or Janels? Firstly, viewers, Italian defense minister has confirmed that Italy has suspended its defense agreement with Ethiopia. The agreement was signed in 2019. Italy was to export some weapons to Ethiopian government. Now the agreement is suspended. When was it suspended? It has not been made clear. It seemed it was suspended last year when conflict war in Tigray was going on. It's still going on. And it was suspended because, according to defense minister, there were fears that the weapons exported by Italy to Ethiopia could be used in the civil war. So that is why Italy suspended its agreement with Ethiopia. The agreement is still suspended. It has not been revived yet. France also suspended military cooperation with Ethiopia last year over Tigray crisis. I think it was August last year when France announced that its military cooperation with Ethiopia was suspended. Despite suspension of military agreements from France and Italy, you saw that Ethiopian government managed to purchase drones. It purchased drones from Turkey, from the UAE, from China, and from Iran as well. So, even if a country suspends its military cooperation with another one, it does not make a big difference. There are so many suppliers of weapons. Secondly, viewers, Hermela Aregawi of No More movement now seems to be after Oromo politicians. A few hours ago, she tweeted, she says, corruption allegations are piling up against members of ODP and OPDO. What is this ODP and OPDO? ODP is Oromo Democratic Party. Its former name was OPDO. Oromo People's Democratic Organization. It was OPDO, then it became ODP. ODP, Oromo Democratic Party, was led by Lima Magarsa. But in 2018, new Prime Minister was to be nominated after the removal of Hailemariam Desalegn. Lima Magarsa was not a member of parliament. PM Abiy was a member of parliament. So PM Abiy was made the head of the party. And he was nominated for the slot of PM, and he became a PM in 2018. So, head of the party was Lima Magarsa, but now PM Abiy is the head of this party. But this party was merged into PP. Now, this party is part of PP, Prosperity Party. Hermela says that former members of ODP and OPDO are involved in corruption. There are corruption allegations against them which are piling up. Who are these former members? She is not naming anyone. She is targeting politicians of Oromia Prosperity Party, including Shimalis Abdisa. She is not openly talking about PM Abiy, though PM Abiy is also part of this. He is former deputy of ODP. She is not naming anyone. She is generally criticizing Oromo politicians that they are involved in corruption. Uh, a few days ago, we heard rumors about some corruption allegations against the brother of Shimalis Abdisa, Oromia region's president. Read a video on that. Reportedly, he was taken into custody, but then it was covered up. We don't know what happened after that. Allegations have been there against some Oromo politicians. But similar allegations have been raised against some Amhara leaders too. A news outlet a few days ago did a news story, a documentary on that, on corruption in Ethiopia. In the documentary, some names from Amhara region were also mentioned. So you cannot just blame Oromo politicians for corruption in Ethiopia. Why is she targeting only Oromo politicians? It seems that she could be on a new agenda now. Unfortunately, Amhara leaders, Amhara leadership could be after some Oromo politicians. That is why now she is tweeting about that. We could see some campaign against some Oromo politicians in coming days, and she could be in the forefront, backed by some Amhara leaders. She's calling for the release of Tamat Nagra as well, who is still in prison. Other journalists have been released, but he has not been released. He was very strong critic of Eritrea. He has not been released so far. Lastly, viewers, Getachew Reda has responded to a statement of Berhanu Jula, Ethiopian Field Marshal. Field Marshal a few hours ago said, Western corridor will be protected till the last drop of blood. Getachew is now responding. Getachew says, who is the in charge, Janels or PM Abiy? PM Abiy is calling for peace. International community is saying that peace efforts are underway, that siege could be lifted, that there could be humanitarian aid delivered to Tigray. Well, international community is so positive. Who is calling the shots? Why is that journals are issuing statements that the siege will not be lifted? Firstly, Getachew is clearly saying that if Western corridor is not opened, it means that siege is not lifted. It's very much clear from his tweet views that lifting of siege means opening of corridor. So he says that generals want to keep this siege by saying that they'll protect Western corridor. While international community says that talks are underway and some progress has been made. If generals, ENDF generals keep on saying that they'll protect Western corridor till the last drop of blood, it means that they're not ready to negotiate about Western corridor. So siege will remain there. It means no improvement, no progress in talks so far. Again, sticking point is this place, Humra Volkait Sagade. We have been discussing that in previous videos. Main sticking point between Tigray and Amhara is this zone, this place. ENDF, Amhara leadership, Eritrea, all have their deployments of their forces in Western Tigray. They do not want to withdraw from this region. Without the withdrawal of forces from Western Tigray, will Tigray agree to a solution? That remains to be seen. It seems very difficult for Tigray to agree to any solution without Tigray having Western corridor. Thanks for watching.